We're talking with Kara Lawler about her new book, Everywhere Holy, and just a tremendous imagery and things like that in her own just personal, transparent journey. It's really incredible. So make sure you check that playlist at the bottom. Make sure you catch every aspect of our conversation so you don't miss anything if you catch one segment. And here, Kara, I want to talk about your husband, Mike. There's just so every chapter is just page after page is just chock full of little pieces that I kind of want to pull apart and spread it out. I almost wanted to turn your book into like a James Patterson book with like 57 chapters instead of like 50. You know, I was like, wait a minute, let's start again. Let's write this as its own thing. I mean, it's just how I felt. There's so much. You talk about, you jump right into tragedy, and what I loved about it was you were talking about Mike's cousin passing. But speak a little bit about, we don't talk a lot about, like, how do we help our spouse, and how do you help someone when it's not, I mean, it's someone you care about, it's someone that you lost, but it's your significant other or something like that. We somehow end up in a trap where we're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to react. It's just, your book at least gets into that topic, and I wanted you to speak to that because it's something that I don't find a lot of.
Mike's cousin's death was a very serious tragedy for his entire family and, of course, for our little family. But Mike, that was a real reckoning for him, and I think that these unraveling pieces, as I talk about throughout the rest of the book, you know, these unravelings that we have in life end up defining us in one way or another. And, you know, sometimes that definition can go in a way that we don't want it to, or we don't want our spouse to feel bitter, our partner, spouse, friend, you know, loved one, however you want to word that. But for me, watching my husband suffer so much was really difficult. And I think, you know, later in the book, in the marriage chapter that I talk about this beating heart, you know, where I really kind of dive into my own marriage and the support that we found in one another, even how difficult, you know, even through these really super difficult times. And the fact that we just don't walk away. I think that sometimes we must walk away, you know, if relationships are toxic or abusive or, you know, all sorts of other labels that we could have them. But for me, just really standing by him and trying to help him see that this unraveling could really, maybe it was here to teach him something, or at least would be a disservice for him not to, you know, kind of garner some sort of lesson from that. And so as difficult as that was for Mike to find his cousin in the river, and he drowned in the river, and it was a horrifying scene, I think that Mike has done his cousin brought some glory to him in the sense that, you know, Mike is suddenly sure of God because he really felt led that day to find his cousin in the river. And it really is an incredulous story. But I think that Mike, who had been kind of doubting God throughout his life on and off, was a confirmation to him that this was the place he was supposed to be in that moment.
Folks, Everywhere Holy it's just so good, and it's so great to tap into these topics. Some are difficult, but it is definitely a transparent journey through her family's life, and you want to get a copy of her. Put all these links there. You can connect with her, get a copy of the book for yourself, all that, so check that out.